So we'll create a final render again, and we'll do a final comparison. We'll take our render from about frame 49 here, where the rocks have clearly got good positioning. So I'll move forward in the timeline, scene options, and I'm going to render from frame 49 onwards. So let's say 49 to frame 300. I'll call this the Falling Rocks RBD simulation. And if I just jump back into my scene options, 720 by 540. The last thing I could probably do if I just hit play here, I just want to get a sense of the color of these particles. They should all be gray or white. Yep, which they are. So the last thing I might do here is just go back into the ice tree, and let's grab the ice tree for these actual particles here. Open that up, and I might randomize the particle color. So I'll randomize by gradient, drop that into the color, and set the color to be, again, dark gray to white color, so it picks up a little bit of dirt as the particles are rolling down the hill. Of course, what this means is I need to use this color attribute I've set in the render tree. So I'll open up a render tree by pressing 7. I'm using a scene material on the particles at the moment, so I'll apply a Lambert or a Phong shader to my point cloud, and then I'll bring in a color attribute shader. So under the attributes menu, bring in a color shader. I'll use it to drive the Phong's diffuse attribute, and I'm going to pull in the particle color as my reference from the ice tree. So I'll be using that randomize compound effect to effectively work with Mental Ray. I'm going to take the specular decay down quite a bit. In fact, what I'm going to do with these small particles is use something like a fractal scalar shader on the specular port, and I'll make the noise fairly large. I can also take the specular decay and ramp it down so it's quite broad. I'm also going to restrict the colors from black to white so that we have a more even tone, not as much contrast. Okay, so everything's looking pretty good. I think we'll start the render now and look at the final render on return through Flipbook. So I hope you've enjoyed this combination of ice and rigid body dynamics. There's a whole world out there when you start mixing the two together.